sale approval at the same time that you're handing out awards in a bantam draft.
There's a lot on the agenda today, there's no question, and I think it's the first time in our history we've ever attempted to approve new ownership groups in our league, but we're excited. We believe we've assembled, both in Prince George and Regina, two outstanding, high-caliber ownership groups that are not only capable of taking this franchise to new levels, but really providing stability in the Prince George market where we need it the most.
Unanimous. The timing of this is so good for both of these groups, being early, giving them a full summer to get themselves ready for next season.
Well, there's an awful lot of work to do. You don't turn around franchises overnight. It's a process, and they're anxious to get to work now that the approval has been granted by the Board of Governors. I think there's full confidence from the governors in this group to perform. They understand it very well, what it takes to turn this franchise around, and we need to give them a head start, and certainly they'll get going right away.
Can you give any specifics as to why you liked what either group was putting forth towards you folks today?
Well, first and foremost, they're local, very, very successful business people in all cases. I think there's a strong connection to the community. Community engagement is probably the number one consideration that we had in terms of wanting to make sure that there was a strong connection there with the fan base, with the community, and with other organizations in the surrounding areas and so forth. And then from there, I think that the passion that they have to be hands-on to operating the franchise directly. Greg Pocock in Prince George will be the president and hands-on to the franchise, and in Regina, both Anthony Marquardt and Todd Lombard will be day-to-day operating this team, and as a result, I think you're going to see it move it to another level.
Nice to have alumni involved as well.
Really is. Obviously, in the Prince George case, Dan Hummus and Eric Brewer are two of the most popular Prince George Cougars of all time, and great players at the NHL level and at our level as well. And then, of course, Todd Lombard, who is a former goaltender with the Regina Pats and the Brandon Wheat Kings. It's great to have Todd back and working day-to-day in the hockey business.
What a change of landscape, though. 10 months ago, you had 3 ownership groups that had about 80 years worth of ownership between them involved, and now all of a sudden you've got 3 new ownership groups in 3 landmark, long-time franchises.
Well, that's very true, and when you consider that we're in our 48th season of the Western Hockey League, and the Broadskis were involved in that, almost 40 years of that, and of course Jack Brodsky leaving earlier this year prior to the start of the season, and now Rick in Prince George, who was involved, of course, with the family in Saskatoon before moving to Victoria and then to Prince George. Long-standing owners who have done tremendous work, and to Russ and Diane Parker and Brent as well in Regina. We couldn't have asked for that franchise to be operated better. They didn't get the results they always wanted, but I think in terms of the quality of the way they ran their operation, it was very successful.